Welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. Tecmo Super Bowl coming right at you at the plate on the Sony PlayStation. Even the season is going slower than I thought. I had game 5 in the description of the last video, but it turns out it was only game 4. But I'm 3-1 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So far so good. Only a loss to the Buffalo Bills in overtime. In this game, I'm going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. What's up, Kareem Sanders? Kansas City's 1-4. I'm 3-1. Win this game, and I'm in sole possession of the AFC Central. So we're gonna get right into the game, and I'm still determined to finish the season. Tecmo Super Bowl on the Sony PlayStation. I've never done it. K. Sanders won that Madden 2004. Deontay says we're about to be 4-1. I think so. Still, Rod Woodson didn't come up on the comeback report. He's out. As you can see, he's a big part of the Steelers. He makes the loading screen in the middle.
6th week, the Kansas City Chiefs versus
And we're going to kick off first, play some defense. And the in-game sounds are nothing to get excited about in this version of Tecmo. Not like the beloved NES version has some good in-game music. This is more grunting sounds that aren't necessarily the most accurate. Rod Woodson was your guy back in the day. He was a lot of people's guy. I mean, he has the speed, he has the interception rating, the tackling, the hitting power. First down. Catches that one with 2 defenders on him.
I wonder how they'll attack from this position.
Use Levon Kirkland. Oh, a little screen pass. Not a bad gain.
2nd down.
4 yards.
And 6.
We'll go 3-4. Yeah, we'll go man zone. Didn't catch that one in traffic. So how you guys doing in the chat? Are you enjoying this series of Tecmo Super Bowl on the PlayStation? I would say most people like the series, but they don't necessarily want to play this version themselves, but they don't mind watching it. Happy New Year to you as well.
Down and 3.
Brian's going to keep track of the Retro Sports Gamer standings from what I gather, so he's a little bit interested in that. And I think the guys at Demon Tap are going to keep record of it. They seem to be committed to going on Mondays. The new year just started. So Brian's excited about that. No, there was no salmon. Just pizza tonight. Yeah, I forgot to say Happy New Year overall on the channel. Guess this is the first time I've streamed since 2023. And it seems like this is the first year in a while since 2020 that's at least starting, under control, somewhat tame. We'll see how the rest of it goes. I'm not getting too excited just yet, but so far so good. Hung out at the local bar. It was 2 doors down from my parents' house, pizza place. Michael Anthony's and Berwin.
Run and shoot.
I had a good time. And now I'm back to streaming some Tecmo. Cordell throwing in traffic. It looks like it is raining. I don't eat meat, so no, I wouldn't eat pork belly and rice. The rice I would eat. All right.
Beginning to rain. 45. Shotgun.
Try to weave through here. I think we're close enough where we could go for it. 4th and 2.
And 2.
I don't eat any meat. I don't really play favorites on which animals are worth more than others. I just don't eat them. Cordell, big gainer, 50 max speed.
First down. First down. And 10.
Just saw the emojis on Deontay's Happy New Year. Looks like he's in for a heck of a year with what he's got going on there.
Shotgun. Ready. Set.
Thought about throwing that one, but had a path to gain some yards.
Second down. And 1.
Yeah, it's good you got a favorite brand.
I formation. Ready. Set.
Bettis is open, but I feel like I'll just get more yards scrambling from Cordell and get a ton. I think so if he keeps rushing like this.
First down. First down.
Chiefs seem nowhere to be found right there.
Run and shoot. Blue. 33.
Bettis on the outside. Dragging a guy. Big gain.
Second down. And 1.
Looking for a play that I'm not seeing.
Run and shoot. Blue. 45.
Oh, and a get in defense does not react till he crosses the line of scrimmage, and they're too slow.
Pittsburgh.
I like the Adidas starter. Had some champion clothes. Russell Athletic, never liked it. Never, I don't think I had ever had a piece of clothing that said Russell Athletic.
It's good.
I mean, Nike just seemed like the go-to for too many people, so it really wasn't my thing. Plus, their shoes were more narrow. Never really a big Jordan guy either.
First down.
Say Adidas was probably always my number one once I got to like middle school. Before that, younger years, whatever my mom bought,
Formation.
didn't have much of an opinion. I just wore whatever.
First down. And 10. T formation. Ready. Set. Blue. 41. Blue.
He's open.
Wilson.
Is that Andre Rison?
First down. First down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show me how it's done, K. Sanders. I was more of an alley baller than a gym baller. I like playing at the park too. I like playing outside, honestly. The gym was fine, especially when it was cold, rainy, or bad conditions. But if it's nice outside, I want to play basketball outside.
Third down and 3.
I also felt like the shooting was better because it wasn't as hands weren't as sweaty. Like the dirt from the ball would kind of make your hands drier if you're playing outside.
Fourth down.
And then you'd have a better touch on shots. None of those brands. I don't know what the Rock, the first one you said, is. The other ones, North Face, no. Sean John, no. Timberland, I guess if I had some boots, that would probably be the one that it would go for. And Snoop Dogg, he has his own brand. That would be news to me, although it would not be surprising. I have played some street ball with chain nets, but he was open. Double covered, I guess, but definitely was open. 7-3 first quarter. This water's going down fast.
And 10. Run and shoot.
I would, although I don't know. Maybe those days might be over for him.
Third down and long.
The balling in the alley thing doesn't seem to happen as much as it used to back in the day. Even in my neighborhood, I don't see these kids balling it up. I put a portable hoop in my alley, and the neighbor across the alley put up a camera so he could look at the Polish kids next door playing, because they were playing all the time. I think it was because they didn't include his 8-year-old daughter at the time, but what 13-year-old boys want to play with an 8-year-old and just include them? So I don't know, it's a mess these days, you know. Liberal parents,
First down.
what are you gonna do? They put up security cameras and don't understand what's going on. What's up, Alex? Yeah, this game, you never know how long it's going to take.
Key formation. Blue 28. Incomplete.
Charles Oakley, got to get him out on Tecmo Super Bowl.
Second down and 10.
Good neighborhood street ballers. Well, in the alley ball, my friend Anthony was always good, no matter where he played. Didn't matter if it was the alley or the gym. He was good to go. I'm trying to think who was better on the street than in the gym. I feel like I definitely was one of those guys because I like to be physical. And, you know, if you're in the gym, you're usually playing with referees, and, you know, they're calling some soft stuff, honestly.
48-yard field goal.
Another field goal for the Chiefs. Oh, a little hurdle. That's good to see. Those hurdles happen automatically,
And 10.
just so you know. George Skimmer says, "Is this the new Tecmo?" It's not really the new Tecmo. It came out on the PlayStation. I never played through a season, so I figured I would do one on the channel. That way we had documentation of it, and I could see if I didn't give this game a fair shake. Obviously, it's slower pace. It's not the exciting arcade game that Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES is, but I think it has its place in football and Tecmo history for sure. It's certainly not a throwaway game. But like I said before, I don't know, I lost my train of thought because I was reading the chat. Alley baller or gym baller? Definitely alley baller. You know, the backboards, the non-full court, just treat them better.
Run and shoot.
Nobody here. 100 yards rushing on 8 attempts.
First down. And 10. I wonder how they'll defend in this situation.
So you're saying people see you wearing your clothes and then they get excited about it and order some themselves?
One setback. Ready,
Oh, making some moves. Oh, and a hurdle for the touchdown. That was probably his most flashy touchdown run of the season. Oh, my friend Dave, was he a good baller? Not really. I don't think he really cared to play too much. This game was hard to describe. He didn't really want to move around much. He could shoot a little bit, but he wasn't trying to post you up either. So he's really a non-factor. Just kind of shied away from the athletics. You know, by the time we got to the high school age range.
First down. And 10.
I haven't seen. I'm trying to think. Were there chain nets at the Chicago park I was playing? I think there were. So yeah, they're still around. Was Clinton a baller? There were times where he could play. Where he had more energy to him, he lost some weight. He'd score down low a little bit.
Kansas City has called timeout. Third down and 8.
Wouldn't say that was his number one thing that he wanted to do, but he played and he got pretty decent. You got to go with what you love, K. Sanders. They are actually punting. And I guess since I want punt block, there's no one back there.
First down and 10.
And I would throw the ball more, but it doesn't seem like anyone's ever open. And they're off the screen. And since you're playing multiple defenses, you really don't. Since there's defensive actual defensive formations in this, you really can't predict what the defensive players are going to do. And since they're off screen, just like, I'm just running the ball.
Run and shoot.
Me and Sean really don't FaceTime at all. I'm not really much of a FaceTime guy. Although, I'm definitely not against FaceTime at all. I think communication has degraded as technology's increased, but that's one of the areas where I feel like it's actually probably the next best thing to being next to someone, talking to them, where you can see their facial expressions, what they're saying. They could show you things, and you're hearing their voice. I think a lot gets lost with emails, text messages, that sort of thing. Cordell is just flying. Another rushing touchdown. I was a Jerome Bettis fan. Always fun watching ball carriers bounce off of him. But it wasn't like my fandom for Barry Sanders. He was making moves, and it was pretty bad, but so close it doesn't matter. 21-6. And here's the kickoff, 6 seconds left. Man, these games can move slow. I'm out of water at halftime. There seems to be an injury.
First down.
And
And 10.
do I have the ball? What am I doing? Sorry, it was an injury, so just playing normal defense. 1 second to go. Seals with the sack. Let's get to the second half.
And that's the end of the second quarter.
14-6. I have 0 passing yards. Tried to throw a few times. No, I'm not on Facebook. I deleted that in 2020. Just feel like, well, didn't want to argue with people about the COVID stuff, really. And
First down.
just a lot of people hanging around that
I wonder how they'll
you don't
attack
really
from
see
that
anymore. You're not really friends, but you're keeping track of each other years later. So I just decided to dump it, deleted the whole thing.
Second down.
Off-season player training working in your game. Nice. So is it automatic, or do you actually have to train your players manually, like in some kind of training mode? The bus moving outside. Oh, he's got a little speed this time. Trying the zigs and the zags. 31 yards, keeping it on the ground. That's what Pittsburgh does anyways, so it's not like I'm playing out of character with Pittsburgh running the ball this much. It's what they do. They run the ball and play defense. I'm doing this all without Rod Woodson, I think. Here's to check if he came back and I just missed it. So the Chiefs, they just must not have anyone on the outside that has any speed, because I'm getting outside at will. Hey, Sanders says he remembers emailing me. Yeah, I think I remember email. I don't remember what it said.
formation.
Probably something about Madden or Echo, if I had to guess. Defense, and they're just way too slow, this defense. Cordell is looking good out here, but I have to say this Chiefs defense is not fast. You pick a focus for each player, and it automatically assigns available upgrade points to that set of ratings. Happy medium between totally random and having to upgrade each and every skill. I see. Well, that's a smart way of doing it. Facebook is arguing with their high school. Oh man, I got blocked. Too slow. Yeah, I remember years ago I would post some stuff that was controversial, and my uncle, that's a doctor in Utah, was arguing with my friend Sean. Well, more like a friend in grade school that I completely lost touch with. That was my Facebook friend. Like, they're arguing back and forth, and I got cousins and another uncle involved, and I'm like, shouldn't happen. Like, how these people shouldn't have to argue with each other based off something that I said. Like, they're being connected to just get angry.
Second down. And
But I think the goal should be to have some civil discourse in person. And I think that's the best way to talk to people. Because if you could say something to people's face or challenge them to their face, it's a lot different than being a keyboard warrior with your cell phone or on a computer. Get down.
Second down and 8.
Ever having other people on? Yeah. I mean, I could definitely do that again.
D formation.
I do. I feel like I have let down at least part of the people who view as far as not doing those fantasy drafts, because I know those are popular videos and people like them, and I just can't get the energy or the time to do the 3-hour draft streams.
Incomplete. Fourth down and 7.
Right, they're not really hearing anyone with their beliefs. They're not looking in someone's eye. It's like everything you want to say to like try to challenge someone, it doesn't happen the way it should, because, well, the conversation is not happening in person.
First down and 10.
I notice a lot of people these days will rather trust
Shotgun.
people that they see on TV all the time rather than their own family members. So it makes it rough to make any headway. This might be Cordell's biggest game of the season on the ground.
First down. First down and 10.
I mean, if they could stop him, I would run, but I mean, pass.
Double tight end.
But they're not even close. And I look every time. Is anyone kind of open? And no, they're not. So I probably don't need to take licks like that.
First down. First down and 10.
Michael Vick within Madden 2004. Solo can be tiring after a while. Yeah, I think, you know, because there were people staying throughout the entirety of those drafts, it just made sense to have another person or two chime in. And then, yeah, it took some pressure off of me
Second down and
as
10.
far as just speaking the whole time.
Double tight end. Ready, set,
Well, whoopsie-doo. Nobody's there.
First down. First down.
You didn't like the details of 2004? I know, right? Cordell is going for the record. All-time NFL rushing record right here. You're seeing it in Tecmo Super Bowl. Well, I was not expecting this play. Oh, get Cordell in again. He's going to be leading the league in scoring. I see why this Chiefs team only has one win. Man, I'm just too slow on these extra points.
First down and 10.
KC, they're playing good pass coverage, which is why I'm not throwing. What's up, Bradley Smith? Good to see you in the chat. Haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing? What do you think of this version of Tecmo Super Bowl? Dawson on the reverse, so that's definitely not Andre Rison. Bradley saying, "Go Bills."
First down and 10. I wonder how they'll defend in this situation. No, 28, no. Kimball Anders.
Looks like a catch for a 1-yard loss.
Second down and long.
Why does it show the wide receiver for the computer and not for me? Not really sure. So you did know it existed after a few years ago. But yeah, I wouldn't have probably known either, but my cousins did have this game back in the 90s. I remember going in their basement and seeing it. And we tried playing it. Maybe just on one visit. I don't think we ever tried playing it again. We went back to the NES version.
Fourth down and long.
Someone to ride shotgun? Yeah, maybe that could work as someone on voice. It's been tough to get someone over here to play versus me. The Green Magic did it one day. But it's only this like evening weekday hours that I have available right now, so it's kind of a weird time to have to invite someone over. Whoop. And 3-yard gain.
Second down and 7.
Bettis on the other side of the field. We're going to run it. Man, how many yards do you think Cordell Stewart had? Oh, he did a spin. He's getting super confident.
First down and 10.
Kimball Anders. Very nostalgic. Yeah, the big thing here is just it doesn't seem like anyone's ever open in the passing game. And if you do throw it, it's a shot in the dark. You really don't know if they're going to catch it or not because they're off the screen. There's extra defenders there. The defenses are playing different formations, man coverage, zone. So that's why the Steelers has been working out for me. Just running with the quarterback. NHL 07. It's good to see you rocking the retro sports games. I think most people who follow the channel like to at least dabble in some of their retro sports game seasons and playing versus people, even if they still play the modern sports games. But there's more character in some of these old sports games and creativity than some of the new modern sports games today. Nothing. What's up, Gotti? What's up, Jason? You never played this version before? A lot of people haven't. It's alright if you want a simulation, slower paced game. But, yeah, the passing game's nothing like Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES or even Super Nintendo. The same two guys on the streams. The chat is all over the place. They only do it once on Friday, though. Yeah, this channel has had many different variations of what we do, and honestly, I don't care if it changes and fluctuates all the time. That's what keeps it interesting. But originally, I didn't plan to even do solo streams like I'm doing now. It kind of just turned into that as time has progressed. I mean, some of my favorite things to do were playing at the tournaments, broadcasting the competition. Even playing locally with a bunch of people. Just hearing the banter and going back and forth. But these solo streams do have their place. It just was never my intention for them to be the primary way that I interact with the channel, which it has kind of become for me. I do still talk to Mort. Probably talked to him a few months ago. He's back in Buffalo. He was working in Chicago for a long time, and yeah, he's doing well. I think one day he might make a comeback, especially if we do the Retro Sports Gamer Championship. He said he would be interested in that. I don't know when he'll come back to playing Tecmo or anything like that, but he's doing well. Thoughts on Damar Hamlin? Well, the thing is, I don't really watch the NFL anymore. And I know what happened. He collapsed. And they needed to resuscitate him. I've heard the story, and I hope he's alright. First and foremost. But when it comes to anything on the live screen and coming from organizations that I don't really trust, I really don't want to give too much of an analysis. I just hope the guy's alright if he really had that, you know, that scare from a hit or heart stop. I know a lot of people speculate that it has something to do with some of these vaccines going around. I have no idea. I can't say for sure. So, I don't know. I think it is kind of crazy that they canceled the whole game because I've watched a lot of football games where guys got injured, carted off, and they didn't really know the status and they just continued the game. So, that I felt like was very interesting. Something I haven't seen before. But ultimately, whether the NFL is gone soft because of the rules or gone soft because they're rigging the games, it's not the same product that it was before. And after, the coordinated effort to keep the fans out of the stadium and tell all the players they had to be vaccinated, I'm just not interested in the product whatsoever. I obviously like playing these old games and like what the NFL used to be and some of the other sports leagues, but honestly, unfortunately, where the sports leagues are headed and have been have kind of demotivated me for some of the stuff on the channel, unfortunately. Happy New Year to you. I know that was a long-winded answer.
Has called timeout. Second down and 5.
Yeah, good duo is always fun. I mean, I got plenty of guys that I could have a good duo with. Mort was one of them. My brother, Green Magic, DPS, Sean. The most likely guys would be that live close are Green Magic, my brother, and DPS, but they got to decide if they want to come over more often. Keeping 90s football alive, yes.
It's good.
So I don't know, Bradley. What are your thoughts? I've always liked sports and latched on to professional sports because they had great marketing and some of the stars were really fun to watch. But I liked it because I thought it was, one of the most genuine things you could latch on to that our society provided, at least here in the U.S. And when that became in question for me is when I really 47-6. That's my biggest win of the season. Yeah, when that became a question for me, it was hard to take because I wanted it to be just genuine competition, but as the business increased and things became questionable, scandals happened that are even known about, like let's say NFL, the Saints players having bounties, making money on big hits, the Astros winning the World Series using webcams. Stuff like that tarnishes the product. Baseball on steroids, I mean, yeah, it is kind of cheating, especially when the guys aren't using it. I care less about that though, because it is entertainment at the end of the day, and they do have to make contact with the ball. So I don't know. They called the game because they weren't sure. Yeah, and I'm sure the players were shaken. and they weren't gonna perform their best. And I guess the game meant something for the seeding. I don't know. I haven't been following, but that's what I've heard. Gridiron Masters is the same way with college football. Follow AM, but outside of that, watching ball from the 80s to early 2000s. Yeah, the leagues have evolved over the years, some for the better. No, I mean, most for the worst, let's be honest. But I'm trying to think of which one that I think got better. Baseball, not really. Basketball and football, those are my top two. Professionally, they both got super soft. So we should be in first by ourselves. I mean, I drive the Mobile Extreme Gaming bus as one of my ways to make income, and I've played Madden 22 and 23, but nothing seriously, just pick up games. I don't think it's a bad experience by any means, but it's still got the cheap Madden stuff. There was one kid who I played against, and on 2 consecutive kickoff returns, he made me fumble and scored a touchdown. So he just knew how to use like the hit stick. So that type of stuff, it's video game stuff, you know, it's nothing surprising, but it's like it shouldn't be that easy in a simulation game to make someone fumble and score a touchdown. Because that's what they're trying to be. So man, I'm only 5 games in this season. It's crazy to think about that. I feel like it is a bit of a grind compared to Tecmo Super Bowl and the NES seasons, but it is what it is. Prime time with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson is the NFL to me. I don't want to hear guys wearing short pants and scrolling through iPads. That's what the studio people are like now. Yeah, I mean, Chris Berman was very entertaining, and Tom Jackson had good analysis, and it was really just all about the football. Little drama pieces here and there, but yeah, no, just a great show. Good marketing of the product, and it's nice to leave it as that. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they could look at that formula and recreate it, but they're not going to, because there's agendas involved in everything that you see now, and it becomes more apparent as the days, the weeks, the months, and the years go by that the money's going to be pumped in, not only for showcasing the product, but also to move forward any agenda attached to the product. What's up, Felipe? So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. I mean, all I can get through is about one of these in a sitting. This is not a game that I can grind out multiple games. If it's one game at a time, I can enjoy it, but if I have to play more than one, I'm not loving it. No, not having another match tonight. So, yeah, but good conversation. Thanks for bringing up the questions. Thanks everyone who stopped by in the chat. And We'll be back with some more retro sports games soon. Take care. Have a good night.